more rambly skidambly about just everything that Glitch is doing to me right now. My reactions were very strong. In my opinion, they were a little too strong, but valid. I'm not going to sit here and say my reaction wasn't valid. I do think it was a little strong, and I do apologize. I hope I didn't come off as, like, you know, one of those people, but it genuinely was, like, just like a what the fudge are you doing, Glitch kind of situation. Still panicking about whether or not I buy tickets or not, and they're selling fast, so I'm like, because I don't want to see it in theaters, but I don't want to be spoiled, and I don't think it's plausible for me to stay off of social media for a whole 2 weeks. Like, I kind of need it. Like, it is not feasible for me to stay off the internet for a whole 2 weeks, as a creator especially. Genuinely, if Glitch just bumped up the YouTube premiere to, like, June 8th, sincerely, that's all they have to do. I've heard people say, like, oh, you just gotta bump up the YT premiere to June 4th. They don't even have to do that. They just need to bump it up. That's it. That's all they have to do. They just have to bump it. I would say they have the special theater time, June 4th through the 7th. Make it June 8th. Make the premiere June 8th. No one would be mad. Like, I think that would solve a lot more problems. Being off of social media for, like, 4-ish days would be way more feasible for people. That, or if they, one, had it in cinemas everywhere, like this was a literally worldwide thing, which they're trying to make it, but it's not yet. So I think if they made it, like, legitimately worldwide, like, I could go, like, to my cinema that's, like, near me, that I don't have to, like, try and find a cinema in my area that, you know, maybe it'll play it. We don't know. So there's that. There's, like, that, like, gripe. And I think if it wasn't a short period of time that they were playing it, I think if it was, like, a full week or, like, an actual full theatrical release, as opposed to, like, oh yeah, we only got 4 days to try and come in and see it in your local theater, or theater that's, like, 3 hours from your house. Like, that's not, because your local theater may not have it. That is an insane move to make, considering, and like, I've heard people say, people do this all the time with movies, and they always share spoilers, and you just have to mute certain words. I got spoiled on big spoilers for the Mario movie, and that is one of the furthest fandoms I have interacted with right now, okay? I have barely interacted with the Mario fandom, and you mean to tell me I am getting Mario movie massive spoilers? There's no shot that any TADC, even if you're not a TADC fan, like, I have someone that I actually got into the show, and Theorist also got them into the show. I have someone that was getting TADC content, and that is, like, one of the furthest things that would be in their interest. You know what I mean? Like, this is not someone that is typically into cartoons and whatnot. TADC spoilers for the final film are 100% going to be online. Whether you're in the fandom or not, you're probably going to come across spoilers. It is big enough. Like, I don't think people understand that. And then trying to mute words, that's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And then expecting people to stay fully off of, like, essentially any internet, literally any internet and any social media for an entire 2 weeks, especially content creators like me. Okay. Now you have people, I'm pretty sure this is what is happening as well. You have people panickingly buying tickets, trying to, like, why am I getting dizzy again? What is happening? You have people panickingly buying tickets because they don't want to get spoilers for the movie. At least that's what I'm going to be doing, probably. And then you're going to force a bunch of people into a theater and then ruin this experience, probably, because you have a bunch of immature fans that are likely also going to see the movie. Praying to God that that is not the case for me, and everyone in the theater is pretty respectful, and, you know, maybe some, like, I'm hoping for, like, an Infinity Endgame type of situation where we all kind of, if there is talking or reactionary moments, we all are, like, in unison. Like, it's something, like, that's not going to hinder the experience and is going to add to it. I'm so hoping that that's what's going to happen for everybody. I hope this happens for everybody. And I hope the bad actors just don't go. Just don't go. And I really hope that people don't spoil the movie. That's probably going to happen because people are a-holes. yeah, I'm calling you an a-hole, because what the fudge are you doing trying to ruin the experience for literally everybody else? The likes and the views and trashing the experience for other people is not worth it. It is not important. Be respectful, be kind if you're going to the theater. People want to experience this, and especially if it's like me, I want to go and experience this, and I want to have a good experience. Like, people want to go and have a good experience. They don't want to hear you singing Caine's Requiem on volume 10, okay? Just kind of hum it to yourself, like, that's the highest volume you should go at. That's probably even too loud, okay? I should not be able to hear the person next to me. Oh man, please, for the love of God, be respectful, please. You are the only person that is going to have fun. If you come to my theater, whatever theater I choose to go to, if you're coming to my theater that I'm going to and you're going to act like that, can we all just agree that if anyone does that, can we all just like heckle them out of it? Like, can we all just be like, boo, boo, you stink, bald, 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 my eyes. Can we do that? Can we just like heckle them out of it? I give us permission to do that. If someone's being a bad actor like that, we can heckle them. We're allowed to get loud and heckle them out of it. Like, that's the only time you're allowed to like get loud. I'm getting off track. I'm sorry. I'm just ticked off still. And I genuinely think, like, I'm so happy that it's in theaters. I am just so upset at the timing. And I think that's where everyone is like falling into, like, that's where everyone relatively falls. Like, I want to go support indie animation. I want to go support this being in theaters. But at the same time, oh my gosh, 2 weeks? Okay, like, it's such a catch, because on one hand, it's kind of cool to like, you know, like, let's just like, yo, community, like, let's try and get this to be a worldwide thing. Let's make this a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But also, it is insane of them to do that. Like, I get why they do that, but at the same time, that is an insane move, Glitch. Like, what? I just kind of wanted to briefly ramble about that. I'm really hoping it's that kind of experience, where it's just a bunch of fans getting together and we all get to experience the... I mean, it's kind of hype. It's kind of hype, but it kind of sucks. It's kind of hype, but it kind of sucks. Just the way that stuff's gone down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so torn. What I really came back here to talk about, one of the things that I see people being like, oh, it's going to be about this, is essentially Jax goes on his villain arc. Can I say something bold? That's going to suck. And I'm speaking as a Jax fan. That is going to make me abstract, because look, it's the same thing that I have said before. I think if that's the case, it'll be written really well, it'll be really cool. It's just gonna be episode 8, but Jax, but double the length. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what Caine did. Okay, like, is that too bold to say that would just be really crappy writing? I'm not gonna sit here and judge it and condemn it and be like, oh, that's absolute trash, that sucks. I have confidence in the team, I have confidence in Gooseworks. If they did go that route, I'm not excited for that, though. I can understand it, but that would just destroy all of the progress that Jax has made. You know what I mean? Like, that would just... Any character development that he's had just to default back to villain mode would be an insane thing to do. It's just the Duffy's Amazing Digital Circus AU, horror AU, where instead of Jester, it's just... Duffy, did you, like, call that, but, like, the wrong person? Did Duffy legitimately call that, but with the wrong person? That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that would actually kind of be sick, thinking about it, if it was like horror-esque and Jax was kind of like the quote-unquote ringmaster. Okay, to add to the theory, and I don't want to add to the Jax villain arc theory, Caine and Abel are dead. If Bubble was actually Abel, or Caine was Abel, or what, if they both were Caine and Abel, and they both were together and they both died, they both were merged AIs together, and then they died. In the Bible, and I'm pretty sure I say this at one point, in Bible, Lord have mercy, is that actually the route they're gonna go? I'm gonna vomit. I think I even made a YouTube post about this. And I was like saying it as a joke. Lord have mercy. Okay, in Bible, When Abel dies, Adam and Eve actually have another... This would feed into a unique theory. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. Adam and Eve have another child, which is basically a replacement for Abel. That kind of sounds bad, but that's just literally... This child comes after Abel, named Seth. And based off of, like, the color theory, red and blue are very prominent colors, but another interesting prominent color is yellow. And, Peel Jax is very, very yellow, implying a lot. This implies a lot of things, and I don't really know how I feel about it, because red and blue are obviously AIs, you know, Caine and Abel. Caine and Bubble, maybe, I don't know. And then a yellow AI that comes after the fact would be a AI created after Caine and after Abel. Jax technically is after the fact. I've seen some people theorize that Jax is actually Scratch. I don't know how that would make any sense, because if Kinger worked with Scratch, Jax is 22 years old. And Kinger's like double his age, okay? That doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it does. I don't know. But Jax being essentially Seth, this world's version of Seth, is very scarily possible, and I don't... I'll even take it a step further. Red and blue make the color purple. So Jax is not only red and blue, but is also yellow. And I know I'm probably reading a lot into this. Oh, I don't... I'm not confident with the Jax becomes a villain theory, because I want to see Jax get worse, but I don't want to see him get to an irredeemable point. Like, and then just on top of the one part of the trailer where Ribbit's like, have you ever done something that you regret? She says something like that. For Ribbit to say something like that to Jax, and then Jax just continued to go in a villain arc but then, okay, one of two things is gonna happen, sincerely, one of two, or both. Both is possible. Oh my gosh. Oh, to also add to the villain Jax theory, if Kinger confirms Soma theory to them, that they're just digital copies, Jax's entire coping mechanism of none of this is real, so I can do whatever I want, that would just freaking feel that. He would be right again. Lord have mercy, that is the whole... Oh no, Kinger's gonna freaking confirm that, just fueling... I can't believe I was right! Oh my gosh, the archetypes. Oh no. Okay, anyways, one of two things is gonna happen in the Jax verse in episode 9. Jax, okay, one of three things. One, Jax goes on a full-on villain arc and kind of pulls what Caine did. Don't really like that, because that is literally, we'd just be getting episode 8, but with Jax and double the length, and with Jax lore. 2, Jax just straight up abstracts. he's pulling the plug. And then based off of the, like, static Jax that we see for a brief moment in the trailer, that scares me, because that wasn't the process of abstraction that we were introduced with in episode 7, but I would not be surprised if that's like moments before abstraction, you know what I mean, where like he's gonna kill himself. Or it's gonna be both. If he makes Pomni cry, I'm gonna kill him myself. If he makes Pomni cry, I'm gonna kill him myself, because Jax, you, ooh. And it's possible too, if they have another talk, it is possible that Jax just says something absolutely diabolical to Pomni. Why do I keep getting dizzy? Am I just breathing too heavy? Why is this a problem I'm having? Am I okay? It's only when I've been recording. Whatever, it'll be fine. Second theory, which is possible, especially if because I don't know to what extent. This is also kind of like the problem with the villain Jax theory, because people are like, oh, Jax is gonna go full villain mode and become the next Caine and just conjure up a bunch of crap. If they can, because if they could only do that through the power of Caine or whatever AI was, you know, allowing them to do that, they're not gonna be able to just conjure stuff if Caine is dead, and that was the only way that they could do that. I don't know, though. I don't know. If I had to take a guess, a lot of what they showed us in the trailer, one was right all at the beginning of episode 9, and 2, all the like bright moments would be flashback sequences. Now, if they fix up the circus, I have no idea. I'm not confident, but I'm pretty sure that they are not going to make someone fully abstract. At most, we're gonna have process of abstraction, kind of similar to like episode 7, maybe even a little bit beyond where Jax was going, like actually like starting to get like the corrupted code type of thing, because I theorize that abstraction is just corrupted code, and based off of the static Jax in the trailer, that kind of low-key fuels the theory, not gonna lie. But to me, it just reminds me of like corrupted code or a bug in the code. If abstraction legitimately happens, there are 2 candidates. 3, but this is a stretch. Kind of, in my opinion. The most likely candidates are obviously Jax and Lord have mercy, Kinger. My next candidate, if they kind of go the route that I thought they might, which they still could, but I don't know, Pomni abstraction, or Pomni near abstraction, and this would just cause Jax to hit a breaking point. I still think that's possible. Because part of the reason why I would rather have that than the Jax becoming full-on antagonist is because we're gonna have the whole, like, scene and sequence of Pomni being like, Jax, this isn't you! And like, try to bring him down from it, and, like, is it bold of me to say that's the most basic Ash ending they could possibly come up with? Like, the circus is crumbling at the seams, and it's getting, everything's falling apart, and Jax is, like, conjuring up the void and whatnot, and Pomni's just like, Jax, this isn't you. And he's like, oh, Pomni. This has always been me, and it'll stay this way for all eternity. And then he just magic powers all over the place. God, please, Gooseworks, don't do that. Please, literally, probably any other ending would be better than that. This is who I am, Pomni. If you can't accept that, then you never will accept me. Time to say goodbye, Pomni. He's so cringe. Oh my gosh. Now, there is a part of the trailer, this is something that I just, like, came up with and thought of, was, like, the stars swirling around pretty quickly, and we see, like, a grayed out circus, and it's a brief, like, 2-second clip. My first thought was, oh, they're gonna do a time skip, and it's going to be a flashback. I have a new thought. If they are digital copies, and they basically live in hell, and they live there for eternity, that is a time skip into the future. So we're going to time skip and see the cast progressively get worse. And quickly, probably, if it's that kind of time skip. And I didn't really think of that as an option until I saw that. And I was like, oh, no. Because, okay, I did originally theorize that they would do a time skip. Not in this way, because I thought, okay, they're trapped in the circus, but if they can kind of conjure things and make things more better and positive and whatnot, then they will just conjure up the circus to be to their liking and make the most of it, and that's kind of a bittersweet ending, you know what I mean? And then that would be the time skip. We'd, like, see them, like, post crafting of their own world. They're just unlocking Minecraft creative mode is basically what's happening. But I didn't think of the concept of a time skip and then we just see everyone at their absolute lowest. They literally basically live in a digital hellscape. And then with the thought of, like, villain Jax being a thing, or antagonistic Jax, and just, like, the evidence is there, and that's what scares me. The evidence is there. And oh boy. Again, I don't mind if the focus is on Jax, and I think this show has done a relatively good job thus far of, like, even if there is a specific character episode, like episode 4 was, like, the Gangle episode, right? Still did a good job of, like, having other characters be fleshed out and, like, interactable and, like, seeing different POVs and stuff. Like it wasn't just a Gangle-centered episode. But with the Jax episode and then, like, all of the lore dump that they're gonna have to do, okay, that's just, oh. And one way that they could do lore dump is like through other characters, like Pomni asking Ragatha about Ribbit. I still think that could be possible. I don't know. Because it's way too early to tell, and I didn't think that I would have to do all of this theorizing so early. Oh my gaslit. Did not think that we'd get a trailer for me to analyze. I think the most clear thing about the trailer is that Jax is 100% just at his lowest. Like, he's not going to be doing okay. And he's going to engage with every single unhealthy coping mechanism that you could possibly fathom he has. And he'll probably even develop new ones. I don't like the idea of antagonist Jax. But at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, that was essentially the theory outside of, like, that was the theory that there was going to be another entity to deal with. And people, obviously, like me, I had speculated, oh, well, maybe that's Bubble or a third AI. And Lord have mercy, if we find out Jax is an AI, I'm going to... Don't do that. Don't pull the, like, Pomni's an AI or Jax is an AI thing. No one would suspect that either. No one would suspect that Jax is the AI. I haven't thought through all the repercussions of that theory, so don't attack me for that. I'm just kind of rambling. This is just a ramble video. This is just me trying to make sense of everything. I do like the idea that if I do like the idea of episode 9 leaning into a more, like, Duffy's Amazing Digital Circus type of thing, where it's, like, more horror-centric, or, like, psychological horror-centric. Because, as it turns out, I didn't really realize this, I kind of realized this around, like, episode 4, I would say, where I started to realize this. I love psychological thrillers. Like, the mentally freaked up characters, they speak to me. I love it. It's so interesting and intricate, because I like psychological type of stuff. I like psychology. If I had an ounce of patience in my body, I probably would have studied to become a psychologist. Straight up. Like, I love learning about mental health stuff. So if they go that route of, like, really leaning on the mental health aspect of things and, like, the mental dread and horror of, like, we are stuck in a digital hell, dude, sign me the frick up. Seeing Jax at his worst, sign me the frick up. However, please don't let Jax become fully antagonistic to the point of being irredeemable, and please don't let Jax become abstracted, because those are two things that would just completely, that would tick me off, because I understand Jax not getting better. Like, it would make sense. But wow, as someone that sees myself in Jax, that's really not a great message. But it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to condemn too much yet, because it is so freaking early. It is so early. It is way too early. I just wanted to come in here and be like, I really don't like the antagonistic Jax theory. But it does look that way, and I don't like it. But I will say it is entirely going to depend on how they approach it. Because again, if they do the whole, like, Jax, this isn't you, that's gonna suck. But Ribbit, we get Ribbit. That's gonna be fun. I part of the reason, like, I wasn't super, like, reactionary towards it was because I was basically expecting Ribbit. Especially with the focus being on Jax, we're gonna get Ribbit lore. 100%. And it looks like we're gonna get Jax POV Ribbit lore, which is horrifying to think about. I do wonder if there is going to be some sort of, like, rummaging through mind files or accessing of a computer terminal or console, whatever, or like game files, because that does kind of sound insane to have a whole hour of just the cast is losing their minds and Jax is losing his mind and making everyone else suffer for it, further losing their minds, and they get to do this forever. That doesn't sound very fun to watch. It doesn't. I mean, maybe it would be, but I don't know, because maybe it would just default back to, like, episode 1 version of Jax, where he's just very, like, mask on. But even then, like, I don't know. Because then, like, would he really go that route of, like, well, he would go that route if he found out he was a digital copy. God dang it, man. Frick Soma theory, man. Frick Jax being right. That frick Soma theory came from the soul. Oh my gosh. That was one of the reasons I didn't like Soma theory. Two of the reasons why I didn't like Soma theory. 1, Jax was right. 2, they'd be stuck with Caine. But now I'm thinking, 1, Jax is right. 2, they're stuck with Jax. And then them being able to conjure stuff or not, finding that out if they're still able to, like, manipulate stuff in the circus even after Caine is gone, post Caine death, after Caine, AC, that's gonna change a lot whether or not they have the ability to conjure and manipulate the circus. That is going to change a lot. Like, that is going to change how they handle Jax. That is going to change how they handle the situation. That is, like, the game changer, right? Whether or not they can conjure stuff. Because if Jax goes full-on antagonistic, what is he gonna do? Like, if he can't... It's just gonna beat stuffies. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link it in the description, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Duffy's Amazing Digital Circus AU horror thing. I'm a little torn, and it is gonna depend on how they write it. I would be interested to see that, but, like, no one would expect Pomni to become it. What if it is just... Man, I hope not. I don't know. It's way too early to tell. I mean, we got 38 seconds worth of content. I guarantee you most of that's going to be the first half of the episode. Probably the first 15 minutes. Straight up. First 15 minutes. I don't really know what else. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. I think some of my theories are still possible. Like some of the stuff that I had rambled about. The one video that will probably show up in the top right corner if I remember to add it, where I like initially talk about like some episode 9, like just kind of batting ideas at the wall. I think some of that's still possible. And yes, YouTube comments, I did see the Alan Becker stuff. I will try and actually watch some of that. I know who Alan Becker is, and I'm pretty sure I had watched some of that stuff at one point in time, so maybe that was just my brain pulling up stuff that was just buried deep within my soul that I didn't know existed, because I like vaguely remember watching some of that stuff, but I don't remember enough. Like I could go and probably watch it again. I don't know. That's just a theory. A game theory. I think that's it for the rambles. I just kind of wanted to talk about some of that stuff and like readdress the glitch situation and like theater screening and how I like feel about it now that I'm kind of calmed down a little bit. Cool thing, just really stressful and really poorly executed, I would say. Like, it's a cool thing, poorly executed. Don't like Jack's antagonist. Think it could work. Do like the idea of the circus kind of entering a psychological horror type of thing for episode 9. Time skip into the future is entirely possible. Don't know how I feel about that. And a lot is going to change depending on whether or not they have conjuring abilities or not, with or without Caine. I will say I don't think Caine's coming back. I'm sorry, guys. And Kinger's not doing okay, because I'm out of all the characters to abstract, please kill Jax. Don't kill Kinger, please. Don't kill Kinger. Ragatha needs him. They need their dad. Oh, also, people were also theorizing that some of the scenes look like Jax may actually be upset at Kinger and like argue with Kinger. I'd rather not have a Kinger and Jax talk, please. Don't do that to me. Don't. They're gonna give me a Kinger and Jax talk, but at what cost? They're gonna give me a Kinger and Jax talk, but at what cost? I'm not gonna do okay if that happens. And Pomni better kick his butt. They all better just kick Jax's butt, man. They better just, if Jax attacks Kinger, if they all, oh, no, please, I'm not gonna be doing okay. Episode 9's just, we're all gonna abstract probably. GG's, like, we're not gonna make it out of theater alive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's it. They could explore game files type of stuff. I don't know. Pomni in that one door scene, she could be entering Jax's room. It also looks like it could be, like, the colors look like intermission time colors, like the door colors. So I don't know what Jax's room looks like either, so I don't know if it's Jax's room or if it's just like Ribbit's room. It could be Ribbit's room. That's true. It could be Ribbit's door. We don't know what Ribbit's room looks like, and we don't know if their door looks like that, so it could be literally anybody's room. It's possibly Jax's because it is a pink door, but then like the walls, Jax's walls colors are also pink, and if I recall correctly, it's like the door is pink but the walls are black. So I don't know if that's actually Jax's room. Yeah, I have no idea how they're gonna go about this. Yeah, I just wanted to ramble. I kind of wanted to ramble about, like, I really am not excited about Jax being antagonistic, but that looks like what's going to happen. I don't know how they're gonna execute that, and I'll find out. Anyways, yeah,